What's up, YouTube? I hope we are doing well. Oh, I hope we are.
Boy.
What happened? What'd you do?
Strong start. No, me?
Yeah, I already messed up the. I pulled up the wrong things, and oh my god, it was just a classic disaster. It's all right.
I think that's par for the course.
It's
for us,
just
to be honest.
my goodness, Jordan. Can you see our stream?
Yeah. Ooh la la.
Ooh, it is our Halloween episode. Ooh,
Wow,
ooh la la.
Spooky.
Spooky. Jordan, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Good.
That's what I like to hear.
I won last week in the home league.
Oh, you did?
Yep, but I did not win in the Next Step Patreon league, and that's a bad look for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, you suck.
I
in
had
that
the
league,
worst
right?
score of the week. I had the worst score of the week.
I believe
no,
I had.
I was 500.
I believe I had the best
when
week of that week.
Yeah, now I'm under 500. A lot of guys on bye, but you know
Oh, yeah.
how it is.
Blame the
That's part of
buys.
it.
Blame the buys.
That's part of
Blame
it.
the buys.
I got Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb. That hurts.
Blame
You
the
know?
buys. My beautiful wife is in here. She says hello. She tells me to say hello to my son Oliver. Oliver, it is good to see you, buddy. Well, I'm glad you're here. I guess I don't really see you, do I? We're missing Adam. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you have any start-sit questions, go ahead and drop them in the thing here, and we will answer them. I have a few here that I have already set up, Jordan.
Oh, great. From earlier in the week. I love it.
Yes, from earlier in the week. I'm going to post them, and then if you wouldn't mind posting them in our little chat here. Because I can't move away from this. Yeah, so we're missing Adam. We're going to talk about that more in a sec. It is our Halloween episode, and we're glad to have you guys here. We're live on YouTube, youtube.com/Next Fantasy Football Podcast. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Next Fantasy Football Podcast. And we have Instagram, next_step_pod. So, Jordan, do you want to get the podcast side of this going here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, where you're here to help you take the next step in your fantasy journey. My name is Jake, and I'm once again joined by my friend Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
Great. Excited to be here.
It's a good day. It's Halloween.
Yeah, well,
Spooky.
always is. Yeah, it's a spooky week.
It is a spooky week.
Jake, what are you and the fam going to be for Halloween this year?
Well, let me tell you.
I know you always got something.
Yes, I will be a playing card. Okay.
Okay.
So you guess the theme here. My baby Finley will be a white bunny with a little hat.
Sold. I already got it.
Oh yeah, what is
Locked
it?
in. Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. My son
Yeah.
Oliver will be the Cheshire Cat. He's very excited. And I think my wife Caitlin will be, Alice, I believe.
Alice.
I might be wrong.
I
there.
thought she was going to be the Mad Hatter.
Oh, I really hope she's that instead. That would be hilarious. So Jordan, it's Halloween, or at least it will be. Next episode will be past Halloween.
Yep.
So Halloween themed episode. Jordan, here's my question for you.
Yep.
Top 3 favorite candy, Halloween candy. Top 3. I got mine. Are you ready?
This is a good one. Yeah.
Yes.
All
I
right.
got it.
Fire away.
Number 3. I love a good Snickers bar.
That is a bad take. A Snickers is literally the bottom. It's like every Halloween you eat all of your candy, and what's left is like Snickers and Crunch bars.
Okay, first of all, I love Crunch bars.
Oh my god!
Second, they're not in my top 3. They're not in my top 3, but I will say top 3 Snickers. I love a Snickers bar. My dad loved Snickers. There were always Snickers at my house.
Okay.
The Twix bar, number 2. I love the Twix
dark
bar.
horse.
Are you a
That's a dark
left or
horse.
are you a right? It doesn't matter. I'm on all sides. The number 1 is an easy one. It's the Reese's Cup.
Yeah, that is.
And not like the little one. I'm talking the full, in the orange packaging, Reese's Cup.
with the peel, the peel that comes off the bottom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a little crushed, every time.
Yep.
Yes. So those are my top 3. What do you got? You shouldn't have to.
Reese's
You shouldn't even have to wait.
I know, but I feel like there's going to be something that sneaks up on me.
Well, probably.
So definitely the Reese's for sure.
Yeah.
That's top dog. I really like Skittles. I'm
You
a
like
sucker for
Skittles? Oh, that's
yeah, I'm
weird.
a sucker for Skittles. Twix is a good one too. That one I didn't really have.
On your power rankings?
Yeah, but it's a good one. It's a good one. I like it. This is the real dark horse. The 100 grand bar. It's like a full snack.
Man. The
Yeah,
100
that's on the
grand
list.
bar. That's a good one.
That's on the list
That's
too.
a good one.
Yep.
Destroys
All
your
right, so
mouth.
it's Reese's, Skittles, 100 grand. That's for
Oh
sure.
my gosh.
Especially on those.
Don in the chat says Three Musketeer Twix Reese's Pieces.
Oh.
So we're legit. I like Three Musketeers. They make me a little nervous though, because I don't exactly know what it is. They say it's a nougat, but I don't know. I don't like it. Hot take. I don't like it. John,
How do you feel about Butterfingers? That's a real question.
I love a good Butterfinger. They just destroy your mouth.
All right, yeah,
They just destroy your mouth. Have you ever had
Another
a
one.
Sky Bar? Yeah, Sky Bars destroy your mouth, I believe. Oh, wait, I might be thinking of something else.
Are you thinking like they hurt your teeth?
Yeah.
Destroy your
That's
mouth?
what I mean, yeah.
I
Sky
think
Bar.
none of these really are good for your teeth.
Well, Don says in the chat he's driving right now, so give my bucks some love. Well, thank you for listening. Don't type, please. We have some of your questions in here, so we'll be able to answer them for you. Jamie's in the chat. Jamie, how you doing? He says, have you ever had a Sky Bar? Sky Bar has 4 candy bars in one. No, I've never had that. You know what's an underrated candy? The Toblerone. Apparently I'm 80. Or just like the caramel squares.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great.
All
right.
It's like Werther's Originals, Toblerone.
My wife says Kit Kat Reese's Smarties. You know, I'm behind. I can get behind the Smarties thing because.
Oh well, I was gonna say I could get behind the Kit Kat.
Oh, I'd love the Kit Kat.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Gosh. All right. Enough about this. If you're here, drop your fantasy questions so we can answer them. We like to have the chat moving. So if you're here, drop it. We're live on YouTube, youtube.com/Next Up Fantasy Football Podcast. Jordan, why don't you, while we get some of these questions in here, hit us with the news?
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Wait, hold on. Gotta interrupt.
Oh my god.
Sorry, man. We promised Adam was going to be here this week. We promised. And this man says, I can't wait. He says, I can't wait. This is going to be fun. And then today at like 3, he's like, oh yeah, I got a meeting. Can't be there. Bunch of hootenanny. I use other words, but we're a family show.
Yeah.
So I told him that he's going to be here next week. And he said, I promise. And I said, if he's not, he's going to donate $50 to some charity of our choosing, of Jordan and I's choosing, if he is not here. So, he better be here.
Yep.
I mean,
Give me 50.
I guess there's worse things than donating $50 to charity, but you know what I'm saying. So,
Yeah,
Adam...
I'll need to see the receipt.
Yes.
I'll need to see the receipt, Adam.
I'll need to see the receipt. It'll be posted on our Facebook page.
Perfect, yeah.
All right, Jordan, hit him with the news.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Adam, again, for bringing it around 2 times.
Jordan, I hope that when you edit that in later on, you cut it a little short. It'll be like, Adam, or with the news, and right before you just cut it.
You know, the production team doesn't take requests like that. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do.
Jamie,
All right.
Jamie says my favorite charity is My Pocket Fund, if you'd like to donate. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see, yeah. All right, a couple of things in the news. It's actually a shorter news week than it had been in the past. I think the most notable thing is Brock Purdy is in concussion protocols. What that means is his status in Week 8, uncertain, which means we could get Sam Darnold as the starting quarterback this week. So something to keep an eye on. I think you're still starting Christian McCaffrey. You're still starting Debo if he plays. You're still starting all those guys. But definitely something to keep an eye on. They're kind of on a skid, the
Jordan.
49ers.
So it has been no secret of my I don't get behind Brock Purdy, right?
Except for the one time you did. And
except the one time. And then I was like, he should win MVP. And every time after I said that, he's been not good. what if Sam Darnold comes in there and plays, and then he's just great?
I think Brock Purdy has earned like that. He when he's healthy, he gets the spot back, like
Yeah.
job back. 2 bad games, it's not. But it definitely puts a little bit more pressure on him. Like if Sam Darnold comes in and just balls out, who did I play this week? Let me double check that.
I just think, like, it's not that Sam Darnold's going to take the job from him, but I just mean, would it just go to show you that maybe this is just the system?
Oh, the system definitely helps. I think Sam Darnold will be fine. In a pinch, no one's really on bye this week, but in a pinch, you could start Sam Darnold. I guess I don't know what your scenario would be that you would, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to be very interested to discuss next week, though.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good.
That's for sure. Kyler Murray practices in full this week. So today's Wednesday, and Kyler Murray had a full practice. So coming off IR, knee injury, there was rumblings they were just going to sit him the whole year.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to play at all.
But and they haven't said that he's like coming back or given a timeline or anything like that. But just the fact that he's a full participant in practice matters. So keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pick him up, Jake?
Kyler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good segue here. We might as well do it. One of the questions we had: do you drop Brock Purdy for Kyler Murray? And then Jamie in the chat said, when does Murray take over the starting job? Do I drop him for Brock Purdy? I would not.
I'd say no.
I would not. Not right now. Just mainly because Brock Purdy, other than the last game or two, he was playing at just a stupid good rate. So no. When does he take over? I think when he's healthy, right? They're talking if they're gonna play him, they're gonna play him immediately. There's no reason not to, other than money, which is I guess is a pretty big deal. But like, it's not like Josh Dobbs is in there winning. I get that's the point. Like, it'd be one thing if Josh Dobbs is playing pretty well, but he's not coming in and winning.
Yeah, the roster's bad though too. Like, do you think they're punting the whole season? Like, I think they're trying to get rid of Kyler. I don't think Kyler Murray will be a Cardinal next year.
Oh, I don't think so either. He'll end up in New England. That's my guess.
Yeah. But I guess, hey, now I'm talking out loud. You'd also want his trade value to be good, so you'd want to get some tape this season on him, right? Before you try and ship him off somewhere. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah. Keep an eye on it. Brock Purdy is not the one I drop for him. Ryan Tannehill, get gone. Which leads me to my next thing. Ryan Tannehill's hurt. So we're going to get the Will Levis or Malik Willis. It looks like it's Will Levis is getting kind of all the first team reps, but they're saying that Malik Willis will be involved.
Yeah, it's like a preseason game.
Like split?
Yeah,
I don't know. Have some packages with Malik Willis. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I haven't watched enough about either of them to know. Like, is their playing style that different? Are they?
I mean, I think Willis is definitely more mobile, right?
But yeah,
but Levis can move. He's just bigger. He's not Josh Allen, but it's like the similar body type, right? A bigger, taller guy who likes to run around.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Will Levis. We saw Malik Willis last year and it was bad.
Yeah.
So I think they'll try Will Levis.
I mean that's why they drafted him in the second round, was to try.
Yep.
So.
Other things. Deshaun Watson's probably not going to play in Week 8. I do not know what his deal is. He's just
that was strange. Injured. They said he was good to come back, but that he wasn't, and they didn't. They let Philip Walker play, so that was weird.
PJ Walker, yeah.
PJ Walker, thank you. Just weird.
But the Browns are winning.
Yeah, I don't know.
PJ Walker,
what a good defense, right?
Yeah. So yeah, PJ Walker starts Week 8. I don't know what's up with Deshaun Watson. Still, those running backs are the ones to have. Like, they run the ball. Both of them.
Jerome Ford, though, looks to be out for a week or two. So now it's Pierre Strong Jr. and Kareem Hunt didn't practice yesterday either.
Gotta keep an eye on those running backs.
I know Jamie in the chat here, live on YouTube at youtube.com/NextStepFantasyFootball is a big Browns fan. So he says, I hope Deshaun Watson doesn't play all season. I hope Deshaun Watson never plays football again. Personally, but that's more of a off the field thing.
Yeah, it's a personal preference.
Yeah, it's a personal. We talked about it last week.
Justin Fields progressing, but still considered week to week. Tyson Badgett won the game.
He sure
Got the
did.
dub. So
Not
I
a
think
good
there's
fantasy game, but
I think there's a quarterback
there's
controversy
not.
brewing.
There's
But if the Bears have the first overall pick, they're moving off Justin Fields, guaranteed.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to not move on from him. If in my opinion, the only way they don't move off Fields is if he plays, 2 weeks ago, right, where he had the 2-game stretch. He needs to play like that the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, he'll be gone. And I don't think his career's over as a starter. I don't.
Oh,
but
no. Just it's because the Bears will have the first overall pick.
yeah, I agree. And you can't say no to Caleb Williams. The better question is, I mean, we're getting off on a little tangent here, but Jordan, if you were in charge of, let's go, and I'm just trying to think of a team. Let's go the Falcons, right?
Green Bay Packers.
No.
Oh, sorry.
You're the Falcons, and you're giving up on Desmond Ritter because he sucks, right? Would you rather trade for a Justin Fields, or would you rather draft a Drake May?
That's a good question.
Like that's the situation people are going to be in. I don't know the answer to that right now, but I'm just saying that's going to be an interesting thing this offseason to look at.
But Desmond Ritter is winning more games than Justin Fields is.
Desmond Ritter's bad. He will not. He will be benched in a month.
We'll see about that. I think the Falcons will keep winning. They could win the division, Jake.
Did you
see
see how
the guy that's going to win the division?
Okay. Yes, you can. When you have a very competent quarterback behind him.
In Taylor Heineke?
Yes. He's good.
I mean, he's fine. He's a great backup.
Oh
I don't know if he's... Anyway. All right, we're getting totally off track.
All right, go.
Daniel Jones, his status is uncertain for week 8. Tyrod
Taylor
could continue. And that, to me, is a full-blown quarterback controversy. You got to keep playing Tyrod.
Oh, you start Ty God until the wheels fall off. I love Tyrod.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not...
Start him.
But all the wide receivers, Darren Waller, everyone gets a boost when Tyrod Taylor's been playing. Yeah.
In Ty God, I trust. Ooh.
The only other thing to keep an eye on is the trade deadline's coming up. The Giants have said they have no interest in trading Barkley. He's definitely been a trade candidate because he's just signed that 1-year deal. Barkley says, I still want to stay, so that's fine. Raiders also not interested in trading any of their guys, specifically Devontae Adams.
Correct.
Which, I'm going to be honest, I'd like to see Devontae Adams go somewhere else.
Green Bay.
Okay.
All right.
Green Bay season is lost. We can talk about that later.
Oh, okay. It is. It's really sad. Can you believe that the Packers and Broncos played and Adam wasn't here, so we couldn't talk about it?
I know. I don't even want to talk about
it.
Moving on.
I need you guys just to do us a favor, and if you're listening later, you're listening now, go on our Facebook page, Next at Fantasy Football Podcast, and I want you just to post on there and just say, we were disappointed not to see Adam this week. And I will approve every one of those posts, just so Adam can see how much he has missed. All right, let's get into some of these questions. We got some people in here. If you're new in here, hit the subscribe button. That really helps us out. And the like button, share button, all that junk. So let's go oldest to new. Jamie, appreciate the millions of questions. We're going to answer them. We're going to get some of these new faces as well, too. So Randy asked us, Jordan, hey, can y'all pick two for this week? We got Flowers versus Arizona. Jalen Waddle versus New England. Hill did not practice today. And Devonta Smith versus Washington, full point PPR.
I love Zay Flowers.
We've talked about that a lot, how much we love Zay Flowers, especially in full point PPR. That man touches the ball a lot.
He's one of my starts this week.
You're starting over
against
both.
Arizona. He leads the team in targets and receptions. If he just finds the end zone more, like he only has one touchdown this year. If he gets in the end zone more, I mean, he's top tier wide receiver too. So I like him a lot. Devonta Smith has been disappointing me this year. He's hard not to start.
Yeah, you drafted him as a starter.
Yep, and I have him in our league, and I start him every single week, and every single week he just hurts me. It's like Calvin Ridley.
He's good for like 4 points.
Yeah, it's just, but it's there, and you'd hate to like put him on the bench and see that. Jalen Waddle is also good, so I think all these are good. I think unfortunately I'm benching this week Devontae Smith against Washington.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing Waddle, especially if Hill doesn't play. Like,
Yep.
I want every piece of that offense. I mean, Waddle should be started every week. So it's just between Devonta Smith and Zay Flowers, and I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers. He's the number one receiver there, as it stands. Not including Mark Andrews, but yeah, especially full point PPR, right? He's good for those short catches as well, and he can take one to the house. I mean, all three of those guys are really home run hitters. Jalen Waddle with the best celebration in football. I think we can both agree.
Yes, agreed.
I think maybe we can get Adam to do the Waddle for the people. But yeah, I'd go those two.
Last thing I'll say about Zay Flowers, even with Mark Andrews there, Zay Flowers, most receptions, most targets, most receiving yards, which is surprising.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
He just has only scored one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's had, I'm just looking at numbers here. If he scored two more times, he would like wide receiver 21, 22, 23 on the year.
Wow.
So.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll hit Josh, who's a new face in here. Do you value Aaron Jones or Jahmyr Gibbs higher for the rest of the season? It's Jahmyr Gibbs for me.
I agree.
Because as Packer fans, we are watching this Aaron Jones thing take place, and it is so frustrating. I hate frustrating players on my team. I was big Aaron Jones guy going into the season, putting the Packer fandom aside. But he's not healthy. He just isn't. Even today, they gave him the day off for the hamstring. Like, he's on a pitch count. I don't want nothing to do with that. I think Gibbs gets more of the offense as it goes on. I mean, obviously he's splitting with Montgomery. But even
Montgomery's banged it too. And that's that's been kind of the MO for Dave Montgomery for a while.
I think with these two guys, we're looking at guys right here that are not hurt, but you're going to have great games, and then you're going to have games where they're duds. They're going to be very volatile, right? Okay. So, but for me, give me Gibbs, younger, probably a little bit more explosive. I definitely want him over the other two. Or over Jones, excuse me.
Yeah.
He says, and just a follow up here, he says, so what would you trade Aaron Jones and Carr, or excuse me, so would you trade Aaron Jones and Carr for Jahmyr Gibbs? The guy I'm trading with has Josh Dobbs and Anthony Richardson, so he's panicking. It's a 20-man PPR. First of all, 20-man PPR with Carr riding the bench is a decent spot to be in.
Yes.
His roster, he's got Russ, JT, Aaron Jones, Christian Kirk, George Kittle, Jacoby Myers. I'm definitely going to go ahead and get Gibbs there.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the roster right now. Like, your wide receivers are great. You'll never start Derek Carr. He's been kind of a snooze.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
Let's
wait. So.
Do it. Pull the trigger. Let us know how it worked. How it worked out. Cohen, new face in here. Hit the subscribe button. It says, trade Dalton Kincaid, D-Hop, Jalen Warren for Sam Laporta.
Dalton Kincaid.
So you're trading pretty much three bench guys right now, or fringe start guys, right? D-Hop might probably be starting in a solid amount of leagues, but
I'd do it, but because D-Hop's also one of those disappointing guys, like what Will Levis.
But there's no Dawson Knox now, so Dalton Kincaid will be starting every week.
Yeah, but I know what Sam Laporta is.
That's true. You're getting a top 5 tight end right now.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid, who could, Dalton Kincaid could be great, but you're probably, like, D-Hop is the only, like, Jalen Warren is a throw-in for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right, do it.
I'll do it.
Joey asks, would you drop Jalen Waddle to pick up Josh Downs? Miami's offense is heading for regression. The toughest part of their schedule is coming up. Sell high on Miami players while you can. Absolutely not. Sorry, man. I'm going to have to disagree with you. You're not dropping Jalen Waddle. You're not doing that. You shouldn't do that. And if it turns out that Josh Downs was the better player for the rest of the year and Waddle was the worst receiver on your team, then you go, okay, I was wrong. Don't drop him. If you want to get rid of Waddle, trade him to someone. Don't just drop him, though.
Yeah, is this you saying that Jalen Waddle is the worst player on your team, so you're that's the one you would drop for Josh Downs? Because I think you should pick up Josh Downs.
Oh yeah, Josh Downs is definitely
But
worth having right now.
Yeah, to pick someone else. Cut someone else instead of Jalen Waddle.
But
I do hear what you're saying, that Miami could be headed towards a tough stretch of their schedule. So if you wanted to trade some of those Miami guys, totally do it. I don't think they're going to be duds.
Agreed.
But you could look to trade them while their value's high.
Agreed. He says he traded away Mostert for Breece Hall so I could get ahead of the looming Miami offense collapse. Jets have a favorable schedule for the fantasy playoffs. Breece will eat. Well, I do think Breece will eat. I don't mind Mostert for Breece Hall. That's fine. I don't think that I don't see Miami collapsing this way. At least not as bad as you're making it sound.
Yeah, I'm going to drop Jalen Waddle and trade away Raheem Mostert. That's extreme. Again, even if there's a little regression, they're still top 10 fantasy guys all over that roster, right? So, but yeah, I don't mind the trade to get Breece Hall.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you're in the chat right now, feel free to keep dropping these start sit questions. We appreciate you being here. We're live on YouTube, youtube.com/the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. And we're also on Facebook, facebook.com, I guess, / the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Just search the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, and we're there. The Citizen chimes in. Welcome, Citizen. Pick 2 running backs: Darrell Henderson, Austin Eckler, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kareem Hunt. All right, without thinking about it at all, I'm going to say Austin Eckler, and I'm going to say Jahmyr Gibbs.
Agreed.
But I guess it really depends for me, what the rest of your roster looks like, right? Because Eckler's easy, right? Gibbs, we just talked about how he's going to be pretty volatile at times. We know what Kareem Hunt's going to be. He's going to be the guy there for the next few weeks for sure, right? Is it Dynasty? What is it? I'm saying, though, I'd rather have Gibbs. I think Henderson is a cool story, and I think he'll be the guy for a few weeks as well. But I think for the rest of the season, Gibbs will have more of a role. I think for the next few weeks, I think Hunt and Henderson could give you more points this week. He says he also has Kupp, Chase, and Adams. First of all, love that you were able to do that.
How?
In a full point PPR. He must have went back half of the first round, went Kupp, flipped around, second round got Chase.
So you got Austin
Adams.
Eckler in the third round?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I would love to know how you were able to get that.
I'd love to see that draft. Maybe you traded up or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's 2-5 with that roster. That is...
Well, Kupp hasn't played.
Yeah.
So let's,
I feel you, man. I have in the home
of
league, I had a bunch of big name guys and I was 2-5 too. So it's frustrating when you have big name guys like Derrick Henry and who else did I have on my team? I had Aaron Rodgers,
Christian McCaffrey,
and it wasn't working out. It was just brutal. He said he went Chase, Kupp, Adams, and he traded Puka for Eckler in week 3. I love that. First of all, whoever you're drafting with allowed you to get Adams in the 3rd round is just criminal.
Magic.
You should go to jail.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then Puka for Eckler. Love that. That reminds me, why don't we quickly talk about Puka? We had a question. Would you play it Jordan Addison against Green Bay or Puka Nacua against, I don't have it up right here, full point PPR though. Who are you starting?
Who are the Rams playing?
Well, Jordan's looking it up. I'm going to go ahead and start
Cowboys.
Against the Cowboys, which is a decent defense. I'm going to go Adams there. I think that we can get good. I think Puka will give decent weeks. I think we've just seen that now. His floor is pretty high. But for me, it's just Addison's the one guy there. He doesn't have to worry about a Jefferson, right? While Puka has to worry about a Kupp, right? So for this week, give me Jordan Addison. Cohen jumps in, says trade Laporta, Ramondre Stevenson, and Zay Jones for Mark Andrews. So Zay Jones means nothing to me in that.
Yeah.
So you pretty much, are you trading Laporta and Stevenson? I am not.
I like Laporta a lot.
Yeah. So would you?
I would not get rid of Laporta.
Oh, so he's saying would you trade Laporta? Yeah. Okay. So I agree with you too, because I think Laporta and Andrews are going to finish relatively close to each other, I believe, this by the end of the year.
They're 2 and 3 right now.
Yeah.
So.
And Stevenson, while he hasn't been what you wanted, I own him in the home league. I get it, right? He's still a valuable running back piece. So unless you're super deep at running back, then it's not worth it, in my opinion. Like, the jump between Laporta and Andrews isn't big enough. Citizen says, Tua is my quarterback. He went undrafted, and Goddard is my quarterback, or my tight end in that previous thing we were just talking about.
Undrafted Tua. You got Chase, Cup, and Adams in your first 3 rounds.
Just bonkers, man.
If you got a spot open,
yeah, let us join that one. That sounds fun. Is there money? Is there money involved on that one? Mm-hmm. Joey asks, PPR, full point PPR. Are you starting Jackson Smith-Njigba or Robert Woods? Interesting. Is DK Metcalf playing?
DK is.
It looks like he might not. Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
He's still questionable.
Gotcha.
I think he's officially listed as questionable.
Gotcha.
I just want to double check the injury report today, but DK is.
For me,
officially questionable.
Yeah, for me, I would. Sorry, I looked down at my phone. If you're listening to this later on, I looked down at my phone and I see 2 people have already said, I'm so disappointed not to see Adam back this week. So if you're
Thank you.
Hit the Facebook page. I want to see everyone put that so that I can approve that. I'm going to go with Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah, Robert Woods. It's not Robert Woods.
We're talking about which third receiver do you want? And assuming Tank Dell. No, I think Tank Dell's been out. God, that's just a gross question. I don't know the answer to that one. You come here for answers. That one's really hard. I think I'm going to go based on talent. I'm taking the younger guy in a better offense. Well, geez, I say that out loud. Is it a better offense? It is. I would say because of the running game. I would say because of the running game, it is. Yeah. Sorry to not answer that question, Joey. Don's in here. He says, if you got my question, my league is full point PPR. All right, yes, I do have your question. He says, start one running back to start with CMC. So he's starting CMC. Gibbs or Cook? So Jordan, off the top of your head, Gibbs or Cook?
Cook.
I am also going to start Cook there, assuming David Montgomery's playing. And pick 2 receivers without looking, Jordan. Mike Evans, Drake London, Rashid Rice, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Addison.
Jordan Addison for sure. Who was the first one?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, Jordan Addison.
Okay, there you go. I would go. I'd go Mike Evans, Jordan Addison as well. I think, and I would just agree with you. James Cook as well. Cook has had a rough week or 2 here, but I'm thinking a bounce back here on Thursday night. I think we might actually get a decent Thursday night game this week. So, the Citizen says it's $100 league. He would be 2 or 3 and 4, but any fumble in the league is -1, and Tua fumbled and kneeled down, and I lost by 0.53.
Hey, that's what you get for taking the undrafted quarterback.
And listen, fantasy is just so unpredictable, man.
Jake tied last week.
In our home league, we get 0.1 points per yard, and I was up by, I don't know, it was like 8.2 or something like that. And that was exactly what Brandon Ayuk got. So we ended up tying down to the yard, which is just crazy. I mean, so it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Let's do another one. Why don't we do... would you trade Jerome Ford for Javonte Williams, full point PPR? I would say yes, especially because Ford's not playing for like 2 weeks. Yep. I got another one. Trade away Bijan and get Pollard plus Garrett Wilson, full point PPR.
No. Don't give away Bijan.
I hear you.
Stay away from this. Tony, I like Tony Pollard just as much as you, but do you like him more than Bijan?
I think that's a good question of what does the rest of your roster look like, right? Yeah. All right, do you need wide receiver help? If you do, then I'm doing it. At this point, I don't think the drop-off between Bijan and Pollard at the end of the year is going to be that different. And if you need wide receiver help, you're getting Garrett Wilson at a cheap rate. So that's my thought on that one.
They are close. Each have 2 touchdowns, 400 rush yards to 370. each have 26 receptions, around 200 yards. I mean, they're like
Yeah, so I'd really consider it.
totally there.
I would really consider it. Don's asking from that list of... Oh, jeez. All right. Which one would you flex? I'm going to give you the list one more time. Ready? And I'm going to take out the guys you said you would start.
Okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Rashid Rice, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper. I'm flexing Amari Cooper.
I was going to say that, but not with PJ Walker throwing.
Yes, Amari Cooper, well, I guess he did have a pretty bad week this past week. But I do want to say that typically Amari Cooper is quarterback proof. He plays well. It doesn't matter who's throwing to him. You know, Jordan's doing some research. Oh, geez.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong about that, Jake. He had 2 receptions last week.
Yep.
But the week before he had 4 receptions
that's what I'm
for
talking
100
about.
yards against San Francisco.
With PJ Walker.
Yeah. But then the week before that, he only had 1 reception for
Okay.
16 yards.
All right, let's answer this.
Oh, that's tough.
Do it, Jordan. Make the call.
I'm saying Gibbs.
Gibbs. All right.
Yeah.
The citizen said it's crazy. Also, if Herbert wasn't a wish version of Tony Romo, and instead of chucking up into really good coverage, he just threw it at a wide open Eckler, I'd be a lot better. Yeah, that's about it.
That's true.
All right, let's talk about our Thursday Night Top Gun and our Monday Night Miracle. If you have any other questions, drop them, and we are going to wrap this up here in a minute. Thursday Night Top Gun. I'm just gonna put this way over our face.
Yeah, do it.
I can't. Believe us, I'm just going to show his face. It's Baker Mayfield. Who would thought you would say that going into the week? Jordan, tell us why we like Baker.
I like Baker. I think he's had a couple of tough weeks, but I think he's due for a bounce back. He's going to the Bills, who they say the Bills are top 10 defense in all these statistical categories. But I just watched Mac Jones hang like 29 points. Mac Jones.
They can't be that great.
So they can't be that great. I think a bounce back. I like Baker's. I love Mike Evans. I like that. I think the problem is they can't rush the ball.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of a pain. But I think you're looking at kind of 200, 250 yards, a touchdown, hopefully 2, and that would kind of put him in that QB2 range for this week.
He's not in our top 10. I think he's top 15, right around that range, 15, 16.
I think he's a good play this week.
Again, and it's worth mentioning, we like to pick players that you're not always... Everyone's starting Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's playing, all Buffalo. So it's like, who in a game like this, who are we supposed to pick? Like, that's my, you're starting every Buffalo player. You're starting Gabe Davis in a flex, right? I guess we could have done Gabe Davis. But, I think that he could finish in the top 10 this week. And that's kind of what we're looking for here. Another guy who's been pretty good, Jordan, I think you have his stats near us, right? Monday Night Miracle,
Sure.
We're going Jacoby Myers. This man is playing very well. It doesn't matter who's his quarterback. He's the quintessential, you're throwing him in your flex and he's outperforming it. Do I want him as my wide receiver too? Not really. But Jordan, tell him about so far.
He's playing as a wide receiver too. He's wide receiver 15 on the year. So, I know you're saying you don't want him, but if you have him, you should play him. So I think he's a great flex play kind of week to week.
Yep.
He just gets a ton of targets. He had double-digit targets pretty much every game this year. And the ones he didn't, he had 7 targets. And then there was one dud there of 4 targets in week 4. But really, 10 targets, 12 targets, 10 targets, 13 targets last week. He has 5 touchdowns in the year. He scored a touchdown in the last 3 games. The Raiders are not that good of a team, but they throw it a lot, regardless of who their quarterback is. Davante Adams has, a huge, he's getting a lot of targets.
Well, he did it last week after he started complaining.
I know. I guess that's all you have to do, right?
Yeah.
So, but I like that. I think you're looking at someone who's going to get, 9 to 12 targets. He'll catch half of them.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably only go for like 50 or 60 yards, but a couple of them will be red zone targets. And so you have that touchdown upside. I think that's what we're going to see again this week.
Agreed.
From Jacoby Myers.
All right, let me hit the chat here before we finish up. Joey says, "Hey, you hit on the Thursday Night Top Gun last week." All right, relax. We did. We've hit before too. The Thursday Night Top Guns.
We're over 500 on the air.
Yeah, the Thursday Night Top Guns, the Monday Night Miracles. These are hard ones to pick because we're trying not to pick the obvious guys, right? Yeah. So when we miss. When we hit, we love that, right?
I could say Devontae Adams.
Yeah, we could say. We could,
But
start.
I'm not gonna.
Thursday Night Top Gun, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You see other content creators, and I'm not bashing other people who do their own thing, but you'll see videos and they're like, "Who are we starting this week?" And they'll show a montage and they're like, Josh Allen,
Patrick Mahomes,
Austin
Travis
Eckler,
Kelce.
and then they hit, and then they're like, "Look how great we're doing," and that's not what we're trying to do here because that's fake. We don't like fake, right? We want.
No, I believe every fantasy week is won by the guys that you decide, you know what, I'm going to bench this guy this week and play someone else.
Yeah.
Like last week, I made this call and I was like, Calvin Ridley, I'm going to play him.
Yep.
And I benched Michael Pittman, and that was a bad choice. Like
And you lost.
my week would have looked totally different if I switched that around. And that's what I think. Those where I think that the games are won is kind of by making those calls. So
And that's
you're
the
starting,
fun of it.
You're starting your wide receiver ones. You're starting those guys you
Fun of
picked
it.
up in those first 3 rounds. So I agree.
That's the fun of it. All right. We appreciate you guys hanging around. If you were in the chat today, thank you. We love you guys. Like I said, we're live on YouTube, youtube.com/Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast, Wednesdays at 6:30 Central. If you're listening later, appreciate you listening. Thanks for popping in. Joey asks, this question is for Adam. Are you going to lie about being on next week? Well, if he does, we're donating $50 to our charity of choice. Joey, Don, the Citizen, everybody on our Facebook page right now. If you're listening later, go to the Facebook page, make a post, and I want you guys to say, Adam, we're disappointed not to have you on the live today. I want to be able just to spam the approve button so he can see it. All right? I want that to happen because we miss Adam. The podcast is better with Adam, and it has been too long. In fairness, he's been really busy, and we get it, right? But we need Adam back. Bring Adam back.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not that fun, Jake.
No, I understand. I hate talking to Just Jordan. Like, it is just the worst. We agree on things, and it's not fun when we agree on things, and his takes are just so bad. So, like I said, we have our YouTube channel, which some of you are watching, youtube.com/Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. Facebook, the Next Step Fantasy Football Podcast. We're pushing for 450 on that one. So, Jordan, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you. Hey, we're halfway done with the season.
No.
I know, it stinks.
Don't say that.
I know, it's a bummer. So, make moves. Let's get to the playoffs. That's what we're all trying to do. So, all right, guys, you take care. Be good. People on YouTube, we appreciate you guys hanging around. With you guys here, it's just a lot more fun. So,
thanks for sending the questions.
Yes,
yeah,
I hope you guys like this setup. We've been kind of changing how we did it. Kind of doing this answer start sit questions, which is fun. So, like I said, hit up the Facebook page. Tell Adam you're disappointed in him, and we will see you guys next week. You guys take care. Be good.